Hi everybody, Mad Luigi here, and the Ring City DLC is upon us. There's a ton of content, so I'm going to be showing you a couple of really awesome aspects and features from the DLC that are pretty easy to miss, even hard to find. I think these are all pretty essential to really making sure you get the full experience that the Ring City offers, so let's dive into it. Be warned though that there will be significant area and possibly story spoilers. Number 1 is the Ring City Riddle. On a wall near the street's bonfire, there's a note that reads, "Show your humanity." Everybody who got a review copy of the DLC spent hours trying to figure this riddle out. Some getting it, some not. The key here is to recognize the oddly placed white branches in the nearby swamp. So head over to the swamp, anywhere in it, and use one of these white branches. You'll be transformed into a humanity sprite, and now all that's left is to walk back to the wall and strut your new stuff. A ladder will fall, and if you get past or run past the Ring Knights and the Judicator, drop down, head to your right, you'll find the Purging Monument, similar to the Velka statue, with one extra feature that we'll come back to. Number 2, the Dragon Slayer armor. Maybe it's just me, but exploring that swamp with the Judicator in it is a pretty stressful task. I know I was constantly on the ropes running around trying not to get hit by that or the deacons. So I included the Dragon Slayer armor in this list because he's kind of tucked away in the back of the swamp. At the very far end of the swamp, you'll find the Dragon Slayer armor, revitalized and ready to fight. It has a crazy chase range, so I ended up fighting it when I didn't plan to since it chased me all the way back down the swamp when I tried to run. If you get this thing aggroed on you, you might not be able to get aggroed off. Take out the armor, and you'll be rewarded with, you guessed it, the armor. Quite a nice set that we didn't get in the base game that I think a lot of people wanted, so it's really cool to see that we get it now. Number 3 are NPC Invasions. As with the previous, if you're exploring well enough, you're finding every nook and cranny, really making sure you don't leave any stone unturned, you'll find these too. But some of them are pretty out of the way, so that's why I included them. First up, we have Seeker of the Spurned, or Alva from the base game. It's a bit before the street's bonfire. On the main staircase, before the swamp, take the first bridge detour and head left. Past a couple of Ring Knights will be the Seeker's spawn. He also drops the Wolf Ring +3 when you kill him. Next we have Leto of the Cuts set. Can be found a bit from the street's bonfire. Go past the staircase and up the tall ladder to the left of it. Drop to your right, head up the path, and he'll be in the stone tower. The Moaning Knight, looking a little bit like a certain someone from the base game that has a big hammer and defends Irina, is someone you'll have to come across naturally. But he's a bit easier to beat if you ignore him until you make it through the area and take him out when you're by the bonfire. He'll stick to his route and you can shoot arrows at him from safety. If you get lucky like me, he'll just fall off, you'll have an easy fight. Finally, we have Shira, who can be found in the Land of Ash after the Feleonora's Rest bonfire. Head to your right instead of straight, and she'll invade you in the rundown building you find.
I've searched for thee, dark, stricken creature.
Number 4, we have the main course, Midir. The optional and possibly hardest boss of the DLC that's somewhat pretty hidden away. No doubt you'll come across Midir on the bridge, but if you're like me, you just booked it past him the first time because you didn't want to lose your progress, it looked dangerous, and if you have the option of running past things in Dark Souls, a lot of times it's a good idea to take. To get to the boss version, you're going to have to take him out on the bridge. Hugging close to his chest and using a high fire resistance shield should make the fight a pretty easy one. There is an alcove near the start of the bridge you can use too, but I found it not needed. Really the only thing you need to dodge is his smash attacks, but those aren't too bad. Take him out and send him into the chasm below. To meet Midir in his boss arena, find the elevator that connects the ringed inner wall bonfire to the Gwyn Pygmy statue before the church. This is a shortcut you should find naturally. Halfway up the ride, there'll be a doorway. Walk through that and head to the left. The knight statue that lacks a weapon is actually an illusory wall. Head through and you'll come across one of the gravitational anomalies we're so used to in the Ring City. Head down and you'll be in the monster's den. Number 5, the Covenant. Once you take down Midir, you'll be able to join the new Covenant of the DLC, Spears of the Church. As part of the Covenant, you'll get summoned to defend the church from other players trying to get through. You take the place of Half-Light in the second boss fight, allowing for a lot of fun as a PvP boss mix. The Covenant's prayer center is right in front of the church, near the ring knight with the dual swords. Another aspect of this is that you can repeatedly take part in both sides of this Covenant. You can keep fighting other players in the shoes of either the Spear of the Church or the aggressor trying to get through the church. To reset the church after you kill the boss, or another person playing as the boss, head back over to the Purging Monument. Now we're going to choose the other option we talked about before, reinstate the King's Degree. This will reset the church and allow you to keep fighting the boss. This is also not a bad way to get souls since you do gain a pretty good amount of souls through the net process. I honestly do wish there was another way to keep resurrecting all the other bosses in the game too, since being able to fight bosses over and over without having to go into a new game would be fantastic. But that's all I have for essential but missable parts of the DLC. Stay on the lookout for lore videos, since I do plan to do a lot of lore videos on this DLC, since there is a lot of ambiguous lore, and I appreciate you watching. Peace out.